Every morning, you and me wake up, depends on our schedule. Probably we spend 5 to 10 minutes or more, depends on the type of job we do. We look at the news and we watch TV or we sit by computer. If we have subscription to different outlet, we look at those and sometimes listen to some of the news. We go to the social media, but something that we need to pay attention is that the news agency that provide the news, they have sometimes some obligation, some loyalty. Is not that they are not independent. They have focusing on the one current issue in the world, and they have tendency to political forum, if you will, and also they have some obligation to focus on some of the news. For example, in the morning, I look at the CNN, and there are breakfast browse, and then there is a five item. The Reuters has the same thing in a different name, and Telegram from England also has some morning news. And if you look at one subject and look at the one issue, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a finance or financial, could be a political, could be a war report, could be a report on Russia, could be report on Ukraine, could be report on Middle East or Islamic Republic of Iran, Gaza, depends. Pick one. And when you look at one item, for example, the release of the hostages or the fight in Gaza, the wording of that news is totally different in these three, but they all say the same thing. They are talking about number of the death. Some of them refer to as atrocity and criminal, war criminal. Some of them is unhuman, is not consistent with human rights. Some of them refer to sovereignty of the country. They they word it a little bit differently. And if you do have the same political uh, political views, you might like or you might not like one of them. But the question is, what is the real news? What is the backbone of the news that has been recorded and has been published? Well, one of the trick is to look at one news in different sources, but we don't have time to do that. As such, we are almost depends on one newscast system, one news agency, and probably we might get biased. We might get one-sided story and not very fair account of the problem. But if we have time or we have some access to multimedia type of things, then it's better to check the same news, the same reports in a different outlet. And also, it's not a bad idea to check, see if there is any statement of affiliation, the ownership. This is a one time job, and you can look at the news agency, who is the owner, what kind of affiliation, do they get uh, fund from government, do they get funds from this charitable or charity system, are they supported by foreign government? There is a news that is owned by this financial institution in somewhere in Europe, or somewhere in Middle East, or somewhere in the world. Well, definitely that news is differently casted. That news is differently verbalized. One of the problem with this dichotomy, with this diversity of the news, is that we might guide it, we might be leading to a wrong conclusion about a different news. For example, I might reach this conclusion and you might reach this conclusion. When it comes to the international, it's totally different. When it comes to the domestic, it's totally different. If we are Republican, if we listen to the or read the liberal and Democrat news, we don't like it. If we are Democrat, we don't like the Republican. But is it not better to read both of them, and then you come with your interpretation, and then if you want to see they are telling you the truth, go and look to the another outlet. One of the issues that is very important these days is the government shutdown. Well, there has been number of the government shutdown in the past, during Clinton, Democrat, during George Bush, Republican, Obama, Democrat, uh, President Trump, on previous administration and this administration, and many of them in the past. And all of them was unwarranted. All of them was based on the uh, partisan agenda. Some of them reasonably legitimate and reasonable conversation. But spending money on behalf of American, spending money on behalf of the voters for a personal gain or for the party gain is wrong. Well, is it not better to come up with some answers and resolve it and then debate? Is it not a democratic issue and the democratic process? Another issue that you and me, we were witness, was the issue of the impeachment, special counsel, and millions of dollars spent on the wrong narratives. And where is the accountability? Did you and me later on went and asked question and said, since you did not do the right things, I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to have you go to the Congress again. We never did that. Or maybe did. Some of us did, some of us we didn't. However, the process is so complex and complicated that it's not easy to decipher the real presented issue. So if you have luxury of another language, that you speak another language or read another language, or you have time, it's not a bad idea to look into the different news from different sources, and then come up with the conclusion for you, and never ever listen to the all these experts. Listen to them, but do not believe what they say. You have to vet it yourself. You have to verify it. One of the things that all in my career life, I taught the students and residents and medical people was trust but verify. Is not mine. Is a common phrase. Trust but verify. Always trust what they said. Fine, but verify it. One issue that I like to discuss with you that has been the center of the attention is the issue of the Hamas in Gaza, the issue of the Israel. The issue of the Israel depends on the Israelis. If you look at them, They have right to exist, which is absolutely normal, legitimate. The anti-Semitism, which is a big issue in Europe, and many European countries and European Union are corporate and responsible and guilty of it. Many of the American are guilty of it. Many of the American that goes to the Harvard and go to John Hopkins put that Palestinian chafia around their neck, but they don't know what that represents. The first time Mr. Yasser Arafat put that on as a scarf, but Mr. Arafat, wife and children all live in England, and they had private jet. Not that having a private jet for a government official is bad. Well, the government official should be well funded, should be well taken care of, not to compromise for the money. But if they are living that way, they should share some of their wealth with the Palestinian. The Palestinian has right to live, but are they receiving the fair share of information from outside, particularly if some of them are illiterate and they don't read or has access to one outlet, and that outlet is extremist and political Islam. And the issue that we received that there is a peace in Gaza and Hamas is putting down, that's not true. It's not going to be true for the next 5 years. There is this news that I cannot verify, but it comes from outside United States that within the past week, I cannot verify it, but I can report it to you, that in the past 5 days, the Islamic Republic of Iran sent by a messenger $30 million to the Hamas people. That's going to subsidize them for a couple of months or maybe more. Depends how much of it is going to be spoiled, and some of them going to be diverted to the bank in England or in Qatar or in Turkey or somewhere else. None of them going to go to the ordinary people. So, if they have money, whether if I know it, if I heard it, the European people have heard it, the American official have heard it, has been vetted. If it's vetted, how they can deal with it, and how we can extrapolate that information, putting it on the ground, and discuss the outcome. So always you read the news, do not suffice to one outlet. Go to different outlets, different newspapers. Check and balance, and then decide for yourself. And then, if you come to the right conclusion, and you check it with a couple of other people and like-minded, or even not like-minded, and you come with the same results and explanation, then act on it. Act on it. We are living in a democracy. We can ask questions. We can dial in this TV and give them 5 million viewers, and the broadcaster salary is 17 million a year, but we can just turn it off and don't give them viewer. Or the newspaper, we can subscribe or we cannot subscribe. So the issue is the informed citizen. What is this informed citizen? Informed citizen is a person that has knowledge of his or her rights, democratic right, understand democracy, understand the political views, not to the fullest, to some level, and then has open-minded to discuss and converse with others.